In this lesson, we'll briefly discuss the techniques of filtration and drying in the analytical laboratory. For the gravimetric analysis lab, we'll be using suction filtration to pull the solution off of the solid once you've cleaned and weighed your filter crucible to a constant mass. Take care when attaching the filter crucible to the suction apparatus. It's easy to wind up grinding glass against glass here if you're too heavy-handed when inserting the filter crucible into the rubber adapter. Take care to follow the instructions provided by the teaching assistants, including the use of a trap. In a gravimetric analysis, we're using the mass of the precipitate to determine how much of the analyte was present in the original sample. When we're not doing a gravimetric analysis, it may be acceptable to simply use filter paper instead of a filter crucible to isolate the solid from the mother liquor. To prepare, you'll want to fold the filter paper into fourths as shown here. You'll seat the filter paper in the funnel using a glass rod to pour a steady stream of the solution from the beaker. Note that the mother liquor is only called that until you pour it through the filter paper. Then it becomes the filtrate. A rubber policeman can be used to scrape the remaining solid from the beaker into the filter paper before the solid is dried or ignited to achieve a constant composition. Make sure that you are using ashless filter paper if you intend to ignite the sample after filtration. In the analytical lab, we often find ourselves drying glassware and reagents, then using a desiccator to allow them to cool it to room temperature without picking up moisture in the process. Reagents, glassware, and precipitates are dried in an oven above 100 degrees to drive off the moisture. After you weigh your reagent into a bottle with a cap, you'll carefully place the bottle into a beaker with the cap tipped sideways so that the moisture can escape from the reagent. To minimize the chances of particles contaminating your sample, you'll also cover the beaker with a watch glass. When drying crucibles to a constant mass for the gravimetric chloride experiment, you'll dry them in an oven in the manner described previously for at least 1 hour. You'll cool them in a desiccator for about 30 minutes, weigh them, then repeat the process with a shortened drying time until you achieve a fairly constant mass. A typical range for this constant mass will be a range of weights within plus or minus 0.3 milligrams of each other. Desiccators contain drying agents that keep moisture from condensing on your glassware or reagents. Desiccators are kept airtight with a grease seal. To break this grease seal, you have to slide the lid off sideways. If you can pull the lid straight up and off the desiccator, it's probably time to reapply that grease seal. To keep the lids from popping off the desiccator as the air inside is warmed and expands, you'll want to leave it cracked for roughly a minute while the hot crucibles cool. That's all for now.